Hello, everyone, and welcome to our yoga flow to embody the Sefirah of Malchut, which means kingship or queenship. It's the Sefirah of royalty, receptiveness, and it's the final Sefirah in the tree of life. And the final Sefirah, which is the seventh, is connected to Shabbos, and it is the culmination of creation. It is the manifesting energy that began in the highest thought of Chachma. It's traveled all the way through the body, through all the energetic pools, and now is finally part of the kingdom of life. Malchus is the Sefirah of action, of deed. It's the most physical Sefirah that is in this world. And so what better way to celebrate Malchus than in our body and on the mat, on the earth, which is the element of Malchus, the kingdom of life, the earth beneath us that sprouts with all living creatures, all creations. And I'm so excited for this flow. Let's begin in a child's pose by bringing the knees wide and coming into a traditional child's pose, or you can keep the knees together. I'm really enjoying this variation. And setting the forehead on the mat and resting the palms on the soles of the feet, letting the elbows relax into the earth, this element of Malchus. Beginning to deepen the breath and soften the body downwards into the ground. Malchus is connected to Shabbos, as I mentioned, which is a time of rest, of restoration, but also of integration. So just like Malchus receives from all the Sefirot above her, being the final Sefirah, Shabbat receives from all the work we've done in the week. It's a time where we have just vessels of peace. So let's breathe here in our vessels of peace and integrate any information, any actions that we've done today. Let it seep into the body and find your inner point of silence. So while all the other Sefirot has a specific sound and resonance, Malchus is silence, coming to that still center. 3 more breaths. And if your hands are on your feet, reach them forward, lengthening the spine. Inhale, come up to all fours. Stack shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. And we'll tuck the toes, drop the belly, gaze forward. Drawing the shoulders back towards the hips. And tops of the feet on the mat, curve the spine for cat pose. Opening and expanding through the back of the heart. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the heels, and gaze forward. And exhale, round and curve the spine. Nice. Let's tuck the toes and float the hips up and back, coming into our first downward facing dog. Take any movements that you wish here to feel comfortable and settled in the pose, maybe looking right and left, pedaling out the heels, adjusting the width and the height of your dog. And slowly come to a place of stillness, that Shabbos stillness. Just appreciating the posture we've created, witnessing the miracle of the body. Nice. And we'll slide forward into a plank pose. Find that warmth in the center core. Slowly descend towards the earth, resting the front body on the ground. Forehead onto the mat. You can also bring the hands forward into a full body prostration. Soaking up all the wisdom from the earth, the kingdom of life, which is Malchus, the enchanting gardens, the wisdom from below. And especially feeling the womb, the low belly, rests on the ground, the womb being the body part of Malchus. So breathing into the low belly and feeling that pump of life that's connecting us to the ground. And we'll push back up into all fours. Drop the belly, crown lifts into cow pose. And then tuck the toes, exhale, downward facing dog. Deep inhale here. Exhale, slide forward, plank. Nice. Balancing the torso over the earth. Exhale, descend all the way to the mat. Absorb that wisdom from the ground. Lift up to all fours. Drop the belly, crown lifts. And tuck the toes. Exhale, downward dog. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's lightly bend the knees, look forward, and jump into a squat. Right away, we're opening up the hips and the pelvis so we can stabilize below and connect to the womb space, the Sefirah of Malchus, which is our place of birthing new creations, new life, and that pumping of life force that channels through our body and through the womb. Open up the inner knees a little bit deeper, a little bit wider, lifting the crown, feeling the soles of the feet into the earth. This is a great malchus posture, bringing all the energy downwards into the mat, into action, into the deed, the realm of Asiya, the most physical plane of existence. Now from squat, we'll bring the palms down, fold forward, so the feet are parallel, the spine is lengthening downwards, crown is growing towards the mat, and see if you can lift the hips a little higher. Nice, light bend in the knees. Inhale, roll it up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Inhaling the hands to the sky. Exhaling hands to the heart. And then growing the fingertips towards the ground. Make sure the feet are hip-width distance. Shoulders are back and down. All four corners of the feet are pressing onto the mat. And we're lifting the inner arch of the foot to activate through the legs. So Kabbalah teaches that if our whole body represent the six masculine Sefirot, from Chesed to Gevurah to Feres, Netzach, Chod, and Yesod, Malchus is the ground upon which we stand. So our body is that channel between our emotional sphere, between the heavens, which is Keser, the light above, and Malchus, the ground below. So let's take 3 breaths, feeling that energy channel through us from heaven down to earth. Planting the feet down, inhale, sweep the hands high, gaze upwards to that infinite expansive light of Keter. Exhale, hands through the heart and grow the fingertips down. 2 more. Inhale, sweep it up like a snow angel. Exhale, drawing that life force down through the body. Last one, inhale. Exhale, channeling that creative life force down. Now we'll inhale, looking forward. Exhale, diving down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step it back, plank. This time we'll chaturanga. Inhale to an upward facing dog. Press the heart forward and the shoulders back. Lift through the crown. And then drop the knees. Lift the right heel. So the right knee's on the ground, lifting the right heel. And we're going to roll over towards that left hip. All the way so that the right foot plants. And open the arm to the right. Flex the left foot. Nice. Sweep it back, come back to your upward facing dog. First, the knees are lifted, heart forward, shoulders back. And then drop the knees. Keep the right leg down. Lift the left heel. Send it over the body, roll over that right hip. Open the arm to the left. If you ran out of room like me, you can cactus the arm, flex the right foot, and roll it back. Upward facing dog. And tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, the right leg high behind you. Bend the knee and open the hip to the right. Roll out that ankle. Gaze under the forearm. And then send the right leg back. Gaze forward. Step the right foot all the way through. Left knee lowers down. Sink the hips and bring palms to the heart. And then slide them upwards to the sky. The malchus is also known as the Shekhinah, the feminine divine presence. This is the indwelling light of creation that animates and sustains all of existence, including our bodies, including every cell. So let this posture heighten your attention to the Shekhinah, pumping through us. And soften the hands to the mat. Bring the right hand to the inside of the foot. Swivel that right foot to the outside, towards the right end of the mat. And soften here, sinking the hips, coming onto blocks or forearms. Sometimes a difficult posture or discomfort heightens our attention back into the body, calling the soul back into the body. This is a practice of coming home. Malchus is the body, the physical. So let's use this pose to call the soul back into the body. If you have this mobility available, bend the left leg and reach the right arm back, pulling the heel into the low back. Whether this feels pleasurable or filled with discomfort, call the soul back into the body. 2 more deep breaths here. You can always release that back foot. And send the foot back. Lift onto the palms. Right arm reaches around the foot. Left knee lifts, step it forward and fold. Palms to the mat. Light bend on the knees, plant the soles of the feet down. Inhale, connecting heaven and earth. Sweeping the hands high, looking above us. Exhaling, hands to the heart. And inhale, sweep it up, becoming a channel, a unifier of heaven and earth, which is what Malchus accomplishes, connecting one Kabbalistic world to the next Kabbalistic world. And open the palms, dive on forward, land on the earth. And also asking yourself, where does the earth land in you? Malchus is the element of the earth. So feel the earth qualities within you. Stable, grounded, heavy, weighted, earthly, physical. And inhale, flat back. Exhale, palms down, step it back, plank. Chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing. Knees on the ground. Right leg lifts, sweep and roll over to the right side. Open the right palm, flexing the left foot. And let's roll it back, upward facing dog. If your knees are lifted, set them down. And bend that left leg, roll over the right hip, open to the side. And roll it back to upward facing dog. This time, lift the knees from the ground, reaching upwards with the crown. Exhale, downward facing dog. Feel the feet land in this enchanting earth. Inhale, left leg high, bend the knee, open the hip. Roll out that ankle, gaze under the left forearm. And then bring the hips parallel, send the left leg back, gaze forward, bend the knee, step it through. Right knee lowers to the earth, set the top of the foot down. Prayer hands together, slide them up, lifting the heart, gazing above us. Summoning the Shekhinah, this indwelling light, to dwell within us. Channeling this creative life force through the whole body. And look forward, release the palms. Bring the left hand inside of the foot. Stay right here if it's really tight. Maybe come down on the forearms. I like to shift my weight to the outer edge of the left foot. So the sole of the foot is lifting off the mat. That helps me get deeper into the hips. And then bend that right knee, send the left hand back and pull the heel towards yourself. Noticing where your attention lies. And recommitting to this embodiment practice of calling all of our energies back home, calling the soul back into our throne, our kisei, our temple. And soften where you can, maybe the neck, the shoulders, the face. Release the foot and come back looking forward. Right knee lifts, step it forward and fold. So of the 7 species of Israel, the one connected with Malchus is the date palm or date honey. And it says about the date palm that it grows so that its top reaches the heavens and the bottom is anchored into the earth. So let's grow like that date palm, the date honey, the sweetness that grows from below to above. Plant the feet, bend the knees, inhale like that date palm, sweeping up the hands. This is exactly what the date palm looks like. It grows high, it has one trunk, it unifies heaven and earth. And exhale, hand to the heart. Also, if you put dates in any recipe, the stickiness quality brings all the ingredients together. And that's what malchus does. It brings all of the Sefirot together and unifies. Inhale, sweep the hands up. Exhale, dive it forward, palms to the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, hands to the mat, plank pose. One breath here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Drop the knees, right heel lifts, roll over the left hip, open to the right. And come back to upward facing. Drop the knees, left heel lifts, roll it to the other side. Exhale, back to center, lift through the crown. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's drop the knees for a cow pose, lifting the crown. Exhale, round and curve the spine and sink the hips back towards the heels for a brief child's pose. Let's reconnect to the center point, our essence, our inner spark. In the cosmic cube, the Sefirot surround us like with the divine emanations wrapping around us. And Malchus is located in our center, representing our essence. Breathing into that center point. And then feel the stickiness of the palms on the earth, like the date honey. Inhale the sweetness of the heart forward into your cow pose. And then tuck the toes and lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Let's bring the feet together to kiss. Inhale the right leg high. Exhale, look forward, step the right foot through. Left heel lowers to the mat. Inhale to a warrior one. Palms together, drop the shoulders. Malchus is about the mystery of life, seeking us, seeking vessels to channel through. If we truly knew this, that the divine needs us to enter into this world, how would we walk upon the earth? Let's open the palms and float them back down. Step the left foot forward, fold. Stepping firmly on the ground, anchoring all four corners of the feet. Spreading the toes, webbing them apart. Lightly bend the knees. Inhale into your date palm stretch. Unifying the hands over the crown. Exhale, hands to the heart. 3 breaths here. And drop the palms. Snow angel, the hands together. And exhale, dive it forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, palms to the mat. Plank pose. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Drop the knees, right heel up. Roll on over. Open to the side. And roll it back, upward facing dog. Left knee bends, roll over the right hip, open. It's almost like a massage to the hips, coming forward and tucking the toes, hips up and back. So even though malchus is most represented by the womb, it's actually a whole channel, a whole pathway from the mouth over the front body to the womb, and then down the legs into the feet, into the earth. So the mouth and the womb are really deeply connected, as we'll explore. Bring the feet together. Inhale, left leg high. Three-legged dog, reach it up. Gaze forward, bend the knee and step it all the way to the top of the mat. Right heel lowers. Plant firmly into the ground. Inhale, warrior one. On the other side. Feeling yourself as a channel for that divine light to enter through you. The mystery, the indwelling light. Really walking upon the earth with purpose, with care, and with gratitude for this light that sustains our body and that animates all of existence. Open the palms and set them down. Step it forward and fold. Light bend in the knees. Inhale, sweep it high. Exhale, hands to the heart. And inhale, reach up, gaze to the sky. Exhale, dive it forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, palms down, step it back to plank. We'll take a chaturanga. Inhale, drop the knees. This time we'll start by going the opposite way. Bend the left leg, roll over the right hip, open. Come back on the exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Right knee bends. Exhale, roll to the other side. And massage that hip as you come forward. Lift the knees off the ground. Pull the shoulders back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's lightly bend the knees. Hop or jump to the top of the mat. Fold forward. Now on the rising, we're going to hum the sound of the mem for malchus, sound. And Sefirot teaches that this sound is located in the low belly. And when we say the sound, it actually opens up the womb wisdom. So let's bend the knees. And we'll roll all the way up on the inhale. And on the exhale, we'll fold forward with the mem sound, nice and soothing. We'll try that again. Inhale, roll it up. Exhale, palms to the mat. This mem also stands for mayim, water, and is sourced the water element in the womb. So let's try it again, and this time we'll visualize this water descending down through the Sefirot tree all the way through the womb into the mat. Inhale, let's rise. And hum it down with the water element. Inhale it up. One more, like a downward flowing rush of waterfalls. Nice. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, hands to the mat. Plank. Chaturanga. Inhale it up. Lower the knees, bend the left knee, roll it to the left side, flex the foot, and back to upward facing. Lower the knees, right heel lifts, roll over the left hip and open. Upward facing dog. And we'll hum it back, downward facing dog. That mem also even looks like a womb visually. Descending our awareness into this lower womb wisdom. It's our most primal, animalistic, instinctual sphere. Our body just knows what to do. In Kabbalah, it's called the point of Zion, a very beautiful point. Bring the feet to touch. Keep the awareness on the low belly, the womb, and inhale, right leg rises high, three-legged dog. Gaze forward and step the right foot all the way through. Left heel down and open into a warrior two pose. So you can begin with your feet, your arms, airplane mode. But then we'll bring the hands onto the low belly. This is our primordial place of wisdom, where we originated and where we will return from. And it says in the Zohar that the fetus in the womb has a light like a candle above its head that it can see from one end of the world to the next. This is the hidden light of creation. So we connect back to that place, our inner light, the light that knows all. Breathing into the palms, connecting to this very sacred space. And straighten the leg. Slide the right hand down to the shin. Sweep the left hand high for a triangle pose. If you have a block, you can also bring the block to the outside of the foot to reach a little higher. Nice. Sweep the hand down and bring both hips forward. Bring that left heel in a few inches so that you can bring the heel onto the ground. Both hips are forward facing. You can be on your fingertips. You can be on blocks here if you need it. Otherwise, fold in and walk the fingertips wide and then possibly fingertips towards the back of the mat. Right cheek is aiming for that inner right shin. And walk the fingertips back so you can come deeper into yourself. Finding that center point of stillness, of quiet, of Shabbos. Nice. We'll bring the fingertips back forward. Interlace the hands behind you. Shoulder blades pull back. This is a demanding posture. Squeezing inner thighs towards each other, activating through the right glute muscles, highlighting our quality of attention, bringing it back into the body, summoning the soul into our vessels of malchus. 2 more breaths here. And release the palms. Lower the left knee. And inhale, twist to the right. Maybe reach for the back foot. 3 breaths here. Amazing. Release the back foot. Gaze forward, step to the top of the mat and fold. Lower the knees. Inhale to rise. We'll hum it down on the exhale, rushing Mayim, a downpour. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, hands to the mat. Step it into plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Lower the knees. You can go either way, whichever one calls to you, right or left. Slide over that hip. Open. Come back to center. And the other side. And tucking the toes. Hips up and back. We'll take 3 humming breaths. Inhaling, filling up the lungs. And exhale that humming mem sound like rushing water through the body. Bring the feet to touch. Notice how that mem sound activates the low belly, how intricately connected our mouth and our womb is. Many birth workers say vocalizations help to open the womb during childbirth. So similarly, we connect to these 2 spaces of malchus. Inhale the left leg high. Gaze forward and step it through. Opening up, warrior 2. First, we airplane out the arms, and then palms to the womb space. Dropping into this womb wisdom, connecting to our most primordial self, and also the space where all of our potential and our creative life force stem from. Whether it's life itself, being born, whether it's new creative ideas, projects, creative energy, all comes from here. Deepen a little bit more into the legs. And we'll straighten the front leg. You might want to bring the right heel in a bit, coming into a triangle pose. So hand to the shin, or bring the block to the inside or outside of the foot. Listen to the wisdom of your body. And then reach the right hand up so it's stacked right over the shoulder. We're calling in our soul to come home, to dwell in the body. Malchus is the kingdom. We are the temple to house this indwelling light of the Shekhinah. And then let the hand fall forward. Shift the hips parallel, bringing that right heel in a bit so the toes are facing forward. Come, fold yourself in, and then walk the fingers wide or the fingers facing the back of the mat, pulling the cheek inside the leg, lengthening through the neck, and to go deeper, walking the fingertips further and further back. Then walk the hands forward. Keep the feet planted. Lift through the core. Make sure both feet are firm into the earth. And then interlace the hands behind you. Squeeze the shoulder blades behind the back. Press the fists away from the crown. Activating through that left glute. Calling attention to all corners of the body. Two more breaths. And then release the hands. Lower the right knee. And we'll inhale, take a twist to the left, reaching the fingertips high, and then bending the knee, pulling it in. Release the back foot. Step it forward, forward folds. Asking ourselves when we most feel in a state of flow, that this creative energy can just channel through us. Thinking of a time that you feel that way, or possibly you're feeling it a bit now. Bend the knees, inhale, lifting high. And like a vessel that you are, pull all the energy and light into your being. Inhale, release, palms to the sky. Exhale, dive it forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, hands to the mat, plank. Inhale to chaturanga. Drop the knees. Take it whichever way feels good for you. And come roll onto the other side. And tuck the toes. Bring the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Feet together. We're coming into pigeon. This is a gift for you. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, right knee to outer right wrist. Now we can come into regular pigeon, or you can bring the forearm down and bend the knee, pulling that foot into the low back. If you can, bring the fingers the same way as the toes, and with the elbow, push down through the wrist, taking a nice twist here. Release that back foot. Gazing forward, and we'll bring the left hand onto the foot. So upward facing dog spine, lifting through the crown. And the hips are the seat of that water element. So feeling that line, that rushing water from the crown down through the mouth, into the womb, low belly, into the hips. That rushing water descending upon you. Remembering and realizing that the divine mystery is seeking to dwell with and through us. And bring the hands back forward. Let's step it back into a downward facing dog. Bringing the feet together, inhale the left leg high. Simply coming onto the other side, bringing the left knee to the outer left wrist, folding into a resting pigeon, or setting the forearm down and taking that twist on the other side. So while all the other Sefirot are masculine, the Sefirah of Malchus is the only feminine Sefirah. And this is not just for women, but for anyone. Where can we receive more? Where can we soften more and allow that feminine expression to take shape and to form us? Release the back foot. Left hand onto left knee, right hand onto the inside of the foot. You might want to shift the extended leg so that they're in line and parallel the hip to the heel, and then look forward. Let that waterfall, that mem, descend downwards, rushing all the energy from Chachma, Bina, Das, Chesed, Gevura, Tiferes, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, and finally landing in that earth kingdom of Malchus. Bring the hands to the mat. Step it back, downward facing dog. Light bend in the knees, and we'll hop back into our squat, just like we started the practice. Bring hands together, unifying. It's all about unifying the heaven and the earth, the crown, which is Keser, with Malchus. It says about Malchus at the end is wedged in the beginning. So although Malchus is the final Sefirah, it's only the final Sefirah until it gives birth to the next world. So right after Malchus becomes Keter, the crown of the next world. So there's no true endings. We're always in that cyclical realm of creation. The energies continuously flowing deeper and deeper and deeper. Let's sink back onto the hips and straighten the legs if you can and pull the legs in. If you can't, you can also bend the legs, bend the knees into boat. Pull the torso forward. And then bend the knees, open up the palms into your boat pose. Relaxing the shoulders. And then we'll flex the right foot, then the left foot. Straighten right, straighten left. Flex right, flex left. Point the toes right, point the toes left. Keep going like this. Meanwhile, our core is activating, the chest is opening, and we are heightening our attentiveness to this beautiful vessel of the body. Hands together, and then straighten the legs, open the palms, full extension for 3, for 2, for 1, and lower all the way onto the mat. Extend the arms behind you. Full body stretch. And bend the knees so the hips are planted into the earth. Lift the pelvis. Shoulders shrug under the back. Hold on, interlacing the hands. Shining the heart upwards, but planting the feet downwards. Connecting with the womb space, we're not only gazing at the low belly and breathing into that low belly, but we're raising it up, elevating it as the most elevated trait of the body. Our womb allows us to be co-creators with the divine, being an ambassador of the divine. So whether we're looking to create life or to create any project or idea, we remember that this creative life force is just pumping through us continuously. And we're constantly being renewed by this source of life with every breath, with every regeneration of cells. Slowly lower onto the mat. We'll take a full wheel pose if it's in your practice. Tightening my tichel, but not promising that it won't fall off here. So let's plant palms and feet into the mat. Inhale to lift everything, shine it upwards. Feel connected to the ground. Deepening your breath and presence. And slowly lower to the mat. Let's bring both knees into the chest. And then let the knees fall to the left. Opening the right arm, gazing over that right shoulder and right palm. Now with the left hand, bring the hand onto the low belly, onto the womb. Visualizing this mem shape of Maim. It's also the beginning of the word mikvah, which is that body of water that transforms us from one spiritual state to the next. With 40 seah, 40 being the number of transformation, the mikvah is complete embodiment of malchus. It's a big open vessel filled with water that receives in order to create new spiritual life. So we have the mikvah inside of us right here. Rock it back to center, knees into the chest. And then let the knees fall to the right, open the left palm. Feel yourself held. And then bring the right hand onto the low belly, connecting to the Maim, the Mem, the Mikvah. The living waters pumping through us. And that same life that pumps through our blood, or pumps through our veins, also takes form of the rivers and the beating of the birds' wings and the cities of the world in all its complexity. This is the malchus that runs through our bodies and through the whole kingdom of life. Come back to center, knees into chest, and then extend into a Shabbat pose. This is the real malchus position. Malchus is the integration where we see all the work we've done and see how it's shaped us, how it's formed us. Just like after working on all the Sefirot, of all masculine Sefirot, especially the emotional ones from Chesed to Yesod, then we get to Malchus and we just let it all integrate, change us. Let yourself be transformed by the work that you've done. And just like Shabbat receives from the weak, We receive all the postures, all the work we've done in order to bless and birth something entirely new. So for this last minute in Shabbat pose, bring the hands to the womb, humming that mem sound if you want, or simply connecting with this low belly womb space. Release the hands, stretch them behind you. In Kabbalah, malchus is known as the feminine waters, which is an arousal from below. Think bubbling streams from the earth. So all the work is a spiritual activation from us, initiating the divine relationship. So from Shabbat pose, we'll lift up that arousal from below. We've activated our energies. And then we'll inhale the hands upwards to our divine partner above. And exhale the hands to the low belly. Malchus is about receptiveness, femininity, receiving, integration, the place of silence. And it's the silence that births all the sound. So our speech comes from a place of meditative, thoughtful silence. So may we connect to this place of Shabbos within us, the stillness, the silence, and from there voice all the possibilities. From there create all the beauty, all the new energy that we would like to channel through us into the world. Thank you for practicing our Malchus flow. If you have any questions, please reach out. And I'm so excited to have this final class on our Sefirot embodiment course. So have a beautiful, reviving, and restful day.